Hey guys, it's Chris.
And Amber.
Today we're doing more reactions. Now, I can hear your eye rolls from here. But we are going to be doing more adventuring. We're just in that awkward season in Utah right now where it's winter, then spring, then winter, then spring, then winter, then maybe spring, then one more winter, and then summer.
Right?
So we're getting there. We're almost there. We did kind of go on an adventure last weekend, and this video is probably going to be posted after that one. So we're going to be getting to more.
It's getting to that point where sometimes we have warm days where it's like 70 and we're like, wow, it's nice. And then like this weekend where it's raining and wet and gross. It's not quite cold, but it's still wet and gross.
And I got a winter weather advisory saying that sometime between now and Wednesday night, we're expecting like between 6 and 12 inches of snow. So,
no. Okay.
That's just an example of, we're in a weird season right now. We're trying. We promise. We do have adventures planned. We have ghost towns planned. We have paranormal investigations planned.
Yes.
Those videos are coming. But we don't want to just
not give you content.
Post a couple of videos and then be like, okay, well, hey, we'll see you eventually. So we want to give you something. So,
and we enjoy doing this too, so it's fun.
This is what I do on my downtime and general purposes. I love watching paranormal videos. So that is what we're doing today. We're going to jump into it. That one's going to be yours.
Ooh. Thank you, thank you.
Watch this. Watch this.
This stuff can't pull on a string.
I thought the same thing. The only thing that makes me question this one, I'm not innately going to be like totally haunted or, yeah, it's totally fake, personally. I'm kind of in this gray zone. Mainly because in videos like this, when they're faking it, traditionally they kind of stay further back so that they can guarantee you're not going to be able to see any string or fishing line or pinch points, or they've tied it too tightly around the neck type of deal. They actually come up on it.
Yeah, or, hear me out, it could have like skeleton that is on.
But yeah.
It can pop up because when he hit it, the whole thing went. So, I mean,
that is possible.
It wasn't really floopy. It could have been like it's electronic, they push a button and the head sticks up and then comes back down. I'm going to be honest though, when it first started, I thought it was a llama. I mean, you're not wrong. I thought it was a llama though. I was like, it's a llama!
I'm a llama again.
Wait.
But yeah, I'm in the gray zone on this one. You're absolutely correct. I agree completely. It is absolutely a possibility. But as it gets up, I don't see those pinch points. I don't see the things. Yeah. And so if it's fake, it's probably going to be closer to what you're saying. Some sort of an electronic skeleton.
Yeah. Animatronic.
That's the word.
We figured that out. Anyway.
But it's definitely one that lives in this zone of, it's possible.
Yeah.
But I can't say yes.
And you can't say no.
But I can't say no.
That is fair. That is fair.
Yeah.
The darkest video on the internet. These girls were in a carnival game. The strange thing is that there were only 3. Although for people appear in the video. Wait. The girl in the back never existed.
So, hear me out. The color of her face was completely different from the rest of them. I think she was edited into the video.
I think so too.
Like she was like, the lighting on her face wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
Good editing though.
Oh, it's great editing. I'm like, I agree completely. She wasn't there because the one chick never even looks over to acknowledge her.
Yeah.
But I'm like you said,
I think it's edited.
The complexion and everything was just massively off.
Yeah.
which on one hand could go towards, how do I want to put this? Socially accepted view of what spirits look like.
I mean, yeah. The like graying.
Yeah, the like, I'm actually dead, like a zombie type complexion.
Yeah.
But there's just not enough information there for me to roll and say, yeah, totally, I'm thinking fake.
Yeah. Same. Alright, let's do this. That's another one that I'm gonna say is video edited because it's like it slowly crept in and just poof. Before she even touched the camera, she was gone.
Yeah. I'm like, some of these people are really good at video editing.
Yes.
Because the first thing I looked for was that spot you can tell where somebody's like stopped and started anew.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't see that. It's all very fluid, so I don't think it's one where they cut out and started a second video and then just spliced it together.
No, I think the head was edited
Edited
into
yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
She was at the park in the middle of the night when she saw this. The creepy thing about this video is that there's no one around and there's absolutely no wind. Seriously, look at how still the trees and the swings in the back are. Was this just a ghost on a swing having a good time, or an elaborate hoax?
4 years ago.
What's your opinion?
I'm inclined to believe it.
You're inclined to believe it?
Personally. I'm like, is it possible for somebody to have faked that? Yeah, it's super easy. With some fishing line,
Well, I'm
just
not,
down
I'm not
out of
even,
the way. And
I would say I'm not even gonna go like fishing line. The pixels around the swing were weird.
I agree.
They were mildly blurry, like around the edges.
Yeah, I do agree with that. But it is kind of a potato camera.
I mean, yeah, it is a potato camera.
And so it's hard for me to figure in those pixelations, but you are absolutely.
Very fair. It was a lot of things that were caught are on potato cameras.
One of the things, I want to watch it one more time.
Okay.
Because one of the things.
You could just hit the back button.
No, I didn't look at that.
Up some. There you go.
Ghost was on the swing.
Yeah.
She was at the park in the middle of...
The reason I want to watch it again is because it's not so much the swing in front that makes me go, that's weird. It's the swing in back. Because there's one moment where it's swinging, but then it's like it hits a wall. And there's nothing there for it to hit. But it looks as if it hits a wall.
Okay. I'll watch it again. Let's do this.
of the night when she saw this.
Are they side by side?
I assume one's a little further back. Because this one kind of swings in front of it periodically.
Yeah.
The creepy thing about this video is that there's no one around and there's absolutely no wind. Seriously, look at how still the trees and the swings in the back are. Was this just a ghost on a swing having a good time, or an elaborate hoax?
About 4 years ago.
I can see where it hits.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I can see where you saw it hit the wall. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's just kind of weird for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially, I mean, could they be side by side? It's possible.
Yeah.
But there are moments where the one on the right looks as if it's swinging in front of it.
Yeah.
And so, it's kind of odd.
Yeah.
It's either completely legit or a mix of good and bad editing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. This one can be in the gray area.
Yeah, I think it's in the gray.
About 4 years ago, a man was waiting in a parking lot for his friend when he noticed something bizarre by a tree.
He is very familiar with this parking lot, and until this night had never seen anything out of the ordinary.
I had to include this one. It made me giggle. The editing's just so bad.
It is. It's terrible. That is like one of those like transition effects for a shadow. It's the way that you knew by the look on my face whenever I sort of was into it, and then went womp, and I went, motherfucker.
Yep. Like I said, I had to include that one. The transition was just so
It
funny.
was terrible. What it was terrible.
I'm like, yeah, no, shadow spirits don't work that way. Sorry.
YouTuber Midwest Ghost Hunter decided to explore an abandoned graveyard in Minnesota. The old graveyard used to be a part of a thriving town, but now it's just a ghost town. People visiting the cemetery report seeing an alarming amount of paranormal activity, and many locals tell investigators to stay away. And this YouTuber soon finds out why. He begins his investigation at what appears to be a smashed grave.
What happened? Is it vandalized? Okay, I just heard you.
Knowing that he is not alone, he continues his investigation to another tombstone.
Oh, whoa, whoa!
He decides to take pictures of the site in hopes of capturing some kind of ghostly figure. If you look closely at this image, you can see what appears to be 2 children. Do these 2 kids haunt the graveyard?
You first.
I have a hard time with forest ones in general, just because it's not a controlled environment. The vents rattling could be any manner of small creature that was crawling through the vents. No proof there for me. The faces are either edited in, or it's, I don't remember what it's called, but it's where your brain
See something that's not there.
sees something
Yeah.
that's not there,
Makes it
interprets the lines in the dirt as something.
Pareidolia.
Paranormal. Yeah. There you go. That wasn't the part that makes me go. His acting is terrible. Sorry. Is it vandalized? I hear you. Oh.
Yeah. Some
The way that he said it, was like, it's like when you're doing one of those things where you're like trying to get somebody to react the way you want them to, and you have like a quote line that you say, "Is it vandalized?" That's your line. Go.
I agree completely. It's also possible, but I mean, but if he's as experienced as the video implies, he's going to already be used to being in front of the camera. But for people who are just starting out being in front of the camera, they tend to overact.
I mean, it's fair. It's fair.
But there's nothing to imply there that he's new to this. Especially if he's going out into the forest alone.
Yeah.
Which I never suggest doing.
Don't do that, especially at night. Daytime's a different story, but don't be going traipsing through the woods at night by yourself.
Don't.
And that's not a paranormal thing. That's the critters will get you thing. Anyway, don't go out in the woods at night by yourself. You could get eaten by a cougar, a bear, a bunch of other nocturnal critters could attack you, because, that's usually when the predators hunt.
Yeah.
And if you go in a group, be prepared for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You may be ghost hunting, but always be prepared for the non-ghost things.
Yeah, like I said, the forest in general, or any wooded area like that, is not a controlled environment. Be prepared for anything.
Exactly.
Or just don't go. Whatever. She's gonna have to try really hard to get me through a forest at night. You guys are gonna have to get us to like 50,000 likes for the first one. What?
June.
That's a different situation.
It's still a forest.
It's a different scenario. Which you guys don't know about yet.
Don't spill our secrets.
All I know so far is there's something we're doing in June
That's a forest at night.
that they won't see until like July, August.
Oh my god. Hopefully,
Yeah.
if not like way further
Yeah,
out.
it's not like September. Maybe we hold on to it for October. Who knows?
Ooh. What?
What?
Huh?
He's trying to give it away.
He's trying. I'm
You
sure
can edit
it's
it out.
edited out.
Put a bleep over it. Huh? What? Did you
He's like,
say?
huh?
Anyway.
Trying to spill our secrets.
I don't know. I don't get a weird feeling in this room at all. Do you feel weird, Becca?
I actually do feel kind of weird in this room.
Yeah.
It's that we know what happened here, and we
Sure.
know the story behind it, and overall, I think it's just pretty creepy.
That was awfully focused on that mirror the whole time. That was super coincidental.
She did great. He was grinning like the Cheshire Cat
Yeah.
from the moment it started.
Yeah.
That was my indicator of what sort of weirdness is about to happen. Cute video, great editing, very impressed. Because I mean, it wasn't blatantly fake. What tells me fake is the overacting
Yeah.
from the guy.
Like we were saying earlier. Would you stay in room 205?
Dun, dun, dun.
Would you stay in room 205? This woman was working the front desk at a motel in Illinois, but she kept getting customers that specifically asked her not to be in room 205.
We have workers that come here that work on the railroad. I checked in 5 of them. Well, they're all saying, please don't put me in room 205. Okay, what's wrong with 205? And not one of them would tell me what was wrong with 205. I said, is it haunted? Like, really, what is it? Nobody can tell me nothing.
So she decided to check it out for herself, and well, this happened.
It's like really cold in here, though. Like, really cold. And the air's not even on. I mean, I don't see anything. Yeah, the air and stuff's not on. Maybe sit in the dark. See if we can hear something. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I'm gonna probably lose all my views for my people watching, but okay, let's do this. Oh, God. All right, no, I'm out.
She doesn't find anything at first, so she turns off the lights to see if anything strange would happen, and hears someone whisper, she's never posted paranormal content before, so is there actually something haunting room 205, or is this just a hoax?
For me, there's a lot going on here. I'm leaning towards believing it, despite the glaring things there that suggest it's staged.
You mean like how she didn't go into
Into the bathroom at all.
and the door was cracked?
And cracked open,
And she didn't move
100%.
from the front door when she turned the light off, and suddenly it was right there with bathroom.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's one of the glaring things that I'm like... ugh. But her reactions do seem legit to me.
Okay.
And in the beginning where they're talking about how it's the railroad workers that are coming in being like, not 205, and her not knowing what they're talking about, that could easily just be the railroad workers who frequent the hotel, and they've started telling people, hey, no, don't do 205. And they've just never explained why.
Yeah.
And not including the hotel on why, or the motel, whatever it was, whichever one it was. Why.
That's fair.
And so I can fairly feel like I comfortably explain that one.
If you believe the story and it's not made up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta add that in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Pookie pookie.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, there's just, like I said, maybe it's still gray zone, but gray zone leaning towards, personally, I'm kind of choosing to believe it.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
What about you?
I don't. Because, when you do a walkthrough in a room and you want to be like, hey, there's nothing here, go into the fucking bathroom.
Yeah, don't skip a room.
Don't skip a room. That's where the friend hides.
Yeah, show us everything.
Yes. Behind the doors, around the corner, or behind the curtains.
In one shoot.
Yeah. Unedited.
Don't stop halfway through to run and use the bathroom, or in her case, because she's one of the employees, don't stop halfway through because you suddenly have to run back to go do something. Entire room tour in one shoot. So,
If you have to start over, you have to start over.
yeah, exactly. If you get interrupted, you start all the way over.
Fact.
So, but that is one of those ones where it's technically gray zone for me, but I am leaning towards believing it. But that is me
wanting to believe.
Yeah, I basically want to believe that one.
Yeah.
And there are those things that I feel I can comfortably explain it away for me.
Yeah.
I saw this dude give a story on TikTok where he went to Bluff City, Utah. And he's like, but what I experienced there had me question if we're in a simulation.
Uh-oh.
He said we were at this hotel and then we went to a grocery store and then a restaurant. And he said it's just people were weird acting. They were like not expecting someone to come in.
Yeah.
For instance, he went to the hotel clerk. He said, hey, can we get some towels for our room? She's like, oh, actually, I don't know where they're at. This is my first day on the job.
What?
And then he went to the store and something wasn't working.
Weird.
And she's like, I'm so sorry, this is my first day on the job.
Weird.
And then he went to a restaurant and the card wasn't working. And she's like, I don't actually know how to work this machine. This is my first day on the job.
Dude, that was
And he's like,
like a Truman Show.
what is happening?
Yeah.
But then another guy who duetted it, he didn't have a story like that, but he said he stopped in Bluff City and he saw this hitchhiker girl walking on the side of the road, but his car was packed. He's like, I can't pick her up or whatever. He said 30 miles down, the same girl
Stop it
was
right
walking.
now.
But like that always reminds me of the Truman Show. There's got to be a civilization or a community that's pulled that off.
North Korea.
That one was fun because Utah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. It's Utah. I can 100% buy that, especially kind of the fact that I've personally never heard of Bluff, Utah, which tells me it's this big because I've lived here for like 15, 20 years.
Bluff City from, I mean, don't quote me. I haven't looked it up in a while, but the thought that comes to my mind with Bluff City is it's one of those cities that's on the verge of ghost town and abandoned.
I mean, it might not even be something spooky. It could just straight up be that there was a bunch of new hires because teenagers.
Mm-hmm. Unless you want to enter the realm of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them here in Utah.
Oh, yeah.
That could easily tie into
You
what
want-
this guy is saying he experienced.
You want a fun one? Go to Duchesne. Just the county. Things happen there. Like 90% of the people have had things happen to them, and they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
They won't talk about it. And then I've had quite a few of my friends tell me that they have people who live there, and they get agitated when you ask them about things that have happened in Duchesne.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's right around where Skinwalker Ranch is at.
Yep.
That place, creepy.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, 100%. There's a lot of just weird stuff here in Utah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
That enters the realm of conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Yeah. We have our own Area 51. Look it up.
Alright. These last two
Okay.
kind of go hand in hand, so we're just going to kind of watch them clean through.
Okay.
This first one I have in here, because this is the Enfield poltergeist. Real footage of the people who experienced it.
Okay.
For those who don't know what that is, this is the haunting that The Conjuring 2 was based off of.
Yeah, and anything with Ed and Lorraine Warren, I'm sorry, I believe it.
I do. I know that Ed and Lorraine Warren is kind of a controversial subject right now. But I've always believed Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
I'm a big supporter. I've heard the stories about Ed and what he was doing and all of these various, they faked all their stuff. Everybody in this kind of, like what we do even, everybody kind of flourishes periodically. Yeah. It just happens. Is it?
Either that or they're just dramatic like me.
Yeah.
My reactions are dramatic, and that's just because that's who I am.
I mean, pick any YouTuber. Those over-the-top, oh my god, moments, they're being dramatic because they're trying to make the scene more interesting for you guys. Doesn't mean it's not true.
You want to know what I do when I'm absolutely scared? I'm silent.
Silent, shut down.
I shut down. If I scream, I'm not quite as scared as I am if something happens and all you hear is... That's when I'm genuinely terrified.
If the camera ever pans around and Amber's just standing there wide-eyed and not moving, and you're like, is she still there? She's petrified.
Yeah.
That's a genuine reaction.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people just over-exaggerate their reactions.
Yeah.
Which is what I think a lot of what happened with Ed and Lorraine Warren. I think they exaggerated a lot of their stories to make it more interesting.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that what they were saying wasn't true.
Yeah.
I'm probably not making much sense, but...
No, it makes sense. I mean, normal storytellers do that.
Yeah.
They tell a story and they flourish it. They make it sound more dramatic than it really was.
Than it really was. Exactly.
But there's a difference between flourishing and faking.
Faking it. And I don't believe Ed and Lorraine were
Faking.
fakers. I really don't. So, but anyways, these last two. This first video is of that main girl.
Yeah.
And this is to give you an example of what her voice sounds like as compared to the voice that's coming out of her mouth in the second video.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Why isn't it haunted?
I don't know.
Does it frighten you, the things that happen here?
Oh, well, it did first, but now I've got more used to it. And I'm going to accept the things that happen. It's like covered it, Mum. Might eat it, Mum. Slung a bookshelf at my bed.
Have you tried telling it to go away?
Yes, many times.
What does it reply?
No, it won't. It's staying another 6-7 years.
To say to them?
Yeah. I'd like to know how you make this noise without bashing Janet's vocal cords to pieces. If I do it for half a minute, I get a sore throat.
Goose chases here.
We found her on an Alice.
I couldn't find some of the longer videos. I've seen that full interview before, but I can't find it now. All I was able to find were these little pieces. But she, in the original interview that I remember seeing, she goes on for like 10, 15 minutes in that voice. And I don't know about you or anybody watching. I can also force my voice to go down like that, but you're only going to get about 30 seconds out of me before I've completely destroyed my vocal cords.
I can do it.
Can you?
I've done that exact voice before at school, and I used to hold it for a whole day because everybody thought it was really cool. Does it hurt? Yeah, absolutely. I'm drinking a lot of water. Is this because you're
making your voice go like this?
Yeah.
And you keep it up for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And it's rough on your vocal cords. That one I can agree on. But with enough practice, it can be faked.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that one is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
it is possible.
I used to do that because I loved fucking with my friends in high school.
I mean, totally fair. I was just going off my personal experience of I've tried to do that, and I can do the weird voices, but you're only going to get 30 seconds out of me before I need another, 10 minutes before I can even try to do another 30 seconds for you.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to do that gravelly type, that just hurts.
I'm out of practice, so I probably won't pull it off for a couple of minutes.
Wow. It's still your experience. You've been able to do it, so.
Yeah.
But I was questioning whether I should even include anything from Ed and Lorraine Warren because of how controversial their cases are, especially the Enfield poltergeist. That one is one of, other than the Devil Made Me Do It one, this is one of their most controversial, and it's because a lot of it can be explained away. They were even basically caught faking it at one point.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And so, but I mean, we could probably do a whole segment on kind of going through Ed and Lorraine Warren's cases with a fine-tooth comb. Enfield Poltergeist is one of my personal favorites. They've got a lot of really great ones, but I love the Enfield Poltergeist. And because for me, there was that whole bit where, like I said, you've got the moment where they faked it. They proved it was faked. But there was more to it on the second half, which goes into the entity that was there haunting wanted them to fake it and basically forced them to fake it because they were getting too much attention and he wasn't able to accomplish what it is he was trying to accomplish with all of these cameras constantly pointed at him. And so it was a forced into faking type of deal. I'm rusty on the full story, which is why I'm not making much sense, but that's why I said maybe we can, in the future, pick a couple of their cases and kind of go through them with a fine-tooth comb. Yeah. Because the Enfield Poltergeist is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
But that's all I've got for you.
Fair enough.
Well,
they were interesting. I'll give you that.
I obviously included some that just really made me giggle.
Oh my god, like the shadow. The shadow one was
That was so
fake.
funny.
It
bleeds
faker.
in. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
It bleeds in and then it bleeds out.
Bleeds out. And then it does it a second time a couple
Yep,
minutes
it
later.
looks
I'm like,
exactly the same the second time, too.
yeah.
No changes, no nothing.
Yeah. Part of the reason I include some of these ones that are obviously fake is so that our viewers can see we don't just believe everything we see or experience. We do try and live in this realm of, is it real or is it fake? Because not everything we experience is going to be true.
Yeah. Some of it could be like seeing things or hearing things that aren't actually there.
Yeah.
Like EVPs. Some of it is so gravelly or so weird sounding that you can just turn it into whatever you want it to hear.
Exactly. Your ears are just interpreting, trying to make sense of what it's hearing.
Yeah.
And creating something to try and make sense of it.
Yeah. That is exactly.
Alright, well that's what we've got for you guys today. But like I said, we are going to get to some more interesting videos. Stick with us. I know that these ones are not as exciting. I hope they're at least interesting.
I was saying, unless you're into that, if you're into the reaction videos, like it. Leave us a comment. Be like, hey, that's awesome.
Let us know you want to see more.
Send us some videos that you want us to watch.
It's like I'm completely down doing more of these as long as it's what you guys want to see.
Yeah.
Because I do this every day.
Right.
My downtime after work, I come home, I eat, I sit down. I'm on either
Videos.
YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok watching Paranormal. It's just what I do.
But yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell, follow us on Instagram and X.
Mm-hmm.
We are starting to post. We'll be posting every Tuesday. Yeah?
Yeah.
That'll be about
We're very
it.
excited to be doing this again.
I know.
And we're very excited for the weather to start cooperating with us too.
Yes. Because then we can go out and we can go into these ghost towns. And that's a whole day adventure.
Yes, it is.
All day.
They're a lot of fun. And we're very excited to be doing that for you guys. But like always, comment down below. Let us know what it is you want to be seeing.
Yeah.
If you've got any videos or stories, share those as well. We want to see them. We want to hear them. We'll even put them on a video. Just put in there that you would like it, put in a video, or you don't want to put in a video.
Specifically say if you don't want to put it in a video, because otherwise we're going to put it
We're going to assume you want it in a video if you share it with us.
It's assumed.
So if you don't want it shared, include that in your story so that we know you don't want it shared. But you wanted to share it with us. Because we want to hear it. But, so, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. 'Cause in my mind we're smiling.